Well, hello indie people, how are you guys doing? Now today I want to talk about the world of sensory-ness. Now since becoming a brand ambassador for Chewy Gem, I feel like I don't know as much about the sensory world as I should. Now after talking to my fellow ambassadors, I've managed to come up with an idea that I think would really be beneficial to people, and that is sensory seeking versus sensory avoiding. Like, what do these terms mean? And also the different types of sensory experiences both sensory seekers go towards and sensory avoiders try to avoid. But also I want to talk about where I personally feel I fit within these different types. And hopefully after watching this video right until the end, you'll actually get a better understanding of yourself as a person and what certain sense you personally seek or avoid. But of course I don't just do sensory stuff on this channel, I also talk about autism, I do vlogs, discussions on a Tuesday and a Friday, so if that sounds like your cup of tea, then consider subscribing down below, hitting that notification bell so you do not miss a video. So, what are the differences between sensory seeking and sensory avoiding? Well, someone who is a sensory seeker, as the name really suggests, they crave a certain sense or a multitude of different senses, whereas a sensory avoider is the complete opposite. You know, they'll actually avoid trying to experience certain senses, mainly because they find it overwhelming or they just don't like that experience, if that makes sense. So that's a brief definition of what sensory seeking is and avoiding is, but there are quite a few different types of sensory experiences. Like, I didn't actually realise the different types of sensory experiences that there are. Like, I was completely baffled because when you think of senses, you normally think of your five senses. Now I'm going to talk about the different types, and the first type is tactile. Now if you're a tactile seeker, for example, you basically crave touching things. Like, do you know that person that goes into a shop and just wants to touch things and you see people touching things? That was probably me. Just generally, tactile seekers are people that just like touching things, who are very restless with their hands and just need something to do with their hands. Now the second one is vestibular, which sounds very complicated, but it's basically the need for movement. It's a need to burn off a lot of excess energy. Like, literally you just can't sit down to do stuff. Like, you just have to be constantly moving and just doing something, if you know what I mean. Now the third type I want to talk about is proprioceptive seeking, and what this type of sensory need is the need for bodily contact. So literally someone who is seeking this sensation will just bump into things, crash into things, you know, just any form of bodily contact. Literally anything that requires contact with another person or another object. Now the fourth one is auditory, and basically this is just stuff that goes in your lug holes. Lug holes, that's so funny. And basically seekers of this are people that like sound. You know, loud sounds, loud noises, literally any kind of auditory sound. Now the fifth one is oral, and this basically means stuff that goes in your gob, in your mouth. So literally that can be chewing, eating certain types of foods, you know, with different textures, different flavors, different spices. The sixth one is visual. It's a little bit different with visual because either you can be a person that likes rave lights, flashing lights, like extreme, like Eurovisionly blinding lights, or you could be a person that prefers really calming lights, like soft lights, lightly flickering lights. And the seventh and final one I've got for you guys is olfactory, or basically sniffing things up these nostril things. So either you can be a person that likes a particular smell and really craves a certain type of smell, or you could be a person that likes a lot of smells. And if you live in the UK, if you go into a store called Lush, they have a lot of smells, and actually for me it's quite off-putting, Lush, actually. So those are all the different types, and now where in the hell do I think I fit within all of this sensory sensoriness. I know that wasn't a word, but never mind. So for tactile, I would say I'm a seeker because I'm quite a fidgety person. Like, I feel like I'm quite restless with my hands, especially if I'm not doing anything either. Like, that's the worst feeling in the world. Like, I have to be doing something with my hands just to keep me occupied. In terms of vestibular, I would say I'm a seeker in some sense. Like, I constantly need to be moving about. Like, I just can't sit still. I'm just one of those people that just can't sit still. So I would say that I am a vestibular seeker in that sense. In terms of proprioceptive, I'm an avoider because I don't like contact sport. In fact, I don't really like people touching me unless I know them. You know, it's very, very weird. Like, I don't like people touching me if I don't know them, or, you know, we have that kind of mutual respect sort of thing. Like, I know them and they know me. I don't like people touching me. I don't like the idea of being in physical contact with another human being or object. So definitely I'm an avoider on that one. Auditory, I'm in the middle. Like, with all of these, you don't have to be one or the other. You can be in the middle. Like, I like playing loud music, like really loud music through headphones, and also playing with my guitar and everything, but I hate loud noises like clashing of plates, dishes, car horns, sirens, like those sorts of things. Like, I don't really like those. So I'm in the middle really with that one. I'm not a seeker, I'm not an avoider. In terms of oral, I'm more leaning towards seeker because I like having spicy food. And for me, it's just an amazing feeling having spicy food in my mouth. I don't know what it is, I just like spicy food. Actually, as a kid as well, I used to chew on so many pencils and pens and stuff. Hoodie strings as well. Like, I would just chew quite a lot. So I'm definitely more leaning towards sensory seeking for that one. Visual, I don't really have any preference on that one. I absolutely hate strobe lighting, flashing lights, and it's so annoying when I'm playing a show with my band and they have blaring lights and stuff on the stage. I absolutely hate it. It's so annoying. I prefer candles and stuff like that. So actually, I'm a seeker, but I'm more on the side of calming things because I don't like boom boom rave lights and stuff. So yeah, I'd definitely say calming actually. And then for olfactory, I don't have a preference for that either because I like certain smells, but I don't go out of my way to experience those certain smells. And if there's a particular smell that I don't like, then I just avoid it. And with that, guys, that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for joining me. But are you a sensory seeker or avoider? Let me know down below what senses you seek and avoid. Also, if you have any suggestions for future sensory videos, please let me know down below. It'd be great to hear your suggestions. But for now, guys, if you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and hit that notification bell. Stay you, stay indie. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you all very soon. See you later, guys.